And welcome to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Blake Sneeders producing the operation. Friday night, Royals baseball coming up your way at 8 o'clock. We'll bow out at that time. Of course, Josh Vernier put out his theme for 2026. We'll get to that as well. But we got the WBC tonight. We got Team USA versus Canada, man. These two countries keep facing each other. Gold medal in the women's hockey game, USA wins. Gold medal game, men's hockey game, USA wins. USA versus Canada, part 3 for 2026. The baseball version taking place at, about 7 o'clock? So we'll have fun with that for a while, too. Big 12 tournament going on tonight as well. So a lot of things going on in the sports world. Good evening, Blake.
Good evening, Bing. How we been, buddy?
We're doing good. Of course, we had legal tampering this week for free agency. We're currently in the free agency era for the Kansas City Chiefs and the rest of the National Football League to go out and pick what they need for their rosters for 2026. And let's just say it did not disappoint. For all those years where Kansas City, you're waiting for them to make a move. I'll never forget 2019 when they brought in Tyrann Mathieu. And everybody's wanting the Chiefs and wanting Brett Veach to do something. Then he goes out and gets the honey badger. Never forget it was with Dusty that night. Dusty Likens, they go out and make that move. It's like, all right, you see what Brett Veach is doing, bringing guys in for the culture of what this football team is, bringing in necessary pieces for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they say, all GMs, they like to really set their roster before they go into the draft. So conceivably, any pick makes sense for the team. Now, naturally, they would make every pick make sense for the team or why they need it. But clearly, when you have as many picks as the Chiefs do with 9 now, which getting that for Trent McDuffie, that was great. Like, Trent McDuffie's a great player. Don't get me wrong, great player. But I think this year was down compared to the other ones. Just do. And you get 3 picks, and you get a pick in the third round in 2027, that's a home run. And also, let's not forget, for the people out there that like to come down hard on the Brett Veach trades, L'Jarius Sneed released today from the Titans. Remember when the Chiefs swapped 7th rounders, got a 3rd round pick for L'Jarius Sneed? When the Chiefs did not like the fact he didn't play in training camp or was concerned about the injury. Well, he barely played, only 12 games in Tennessee in 2 years, released again today. So if you had any doubt at all, why Brett Veach moved on from L'Jarius Sneed when he did to get draft picks, think no more, Blake. Think no more of what he did. So didn't hear a lot of credit going out that direction for him today, but he did make a smooth move. Again, when it comes to defensive backs, they know what they're doing, Blake. They know exactly what they're doing when it comes to that position.
Well, with Dave Merritt as the coach and everything that Spagnuolo has brought in, they have consistently found ways to find talent deep in drafts. Anything past the 3rd round, they have seemed, obviously outside of the exception of McDuffie, of course, but they have seemed to consistently be able to not only find quality talent, but also evolve quality talent into top tier. I mean, you can go all the way back to Charvarius Ward. It went Charvarius Ward, L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson. I mean, that's 4 continuous different. It seemed like 4 kind of separate eras. I mean, I know Watson and McDuffie were together, but I mean, that's consistency right there. So whatever Spags and Dave Merritt are doing, it's working. So why would we think that trend would stop?
Well, they have picks to play with now. Now, they were able to get under it with the Mahomes restructure, getting rid of Mike Dana. There's ways for the Chiefs to get some money to go play with, and clearly they went and did, because this team, when it came to free agency, I like the picks that they made. I like the moves that they made. They all made a lot of sense, to be honest with you, with the Chiefs. Bringing in Kenneth Walker, obviously that was the necessary piece right there at running back. You can talk about, he's good in pass protection. That might be one of his least best areas, to be honest with you. But then you bring in Tonga as well from the Patriots, who the only concern is this is his 6th NFL team. So it's been a lot of NFL teams the last couple of years. BYU connection with Andy Reid. But the thing I like about this move for the Chiefs is the fact that last year, remember, they put all that weight on Norman Lott. They put essentially about 30 pounds on him. And we're trying to, say, hey, you play in the one technique, or you play the zero, you play right above the nose, you play the nose tackle, and that's not him. He's more of a 3 technique guy, moving the outside. And then he got hurt. And that weight on him, I don't think it took well to what type of player he is. But don't forget about that. He's the forgotten guy. When people talk about this defensive line and which direction they're going, don't forget about Omar Norman Lott. That was a second-round pick last year who should be good to go this season. That excites me what he can do because this guy was an absolute stud in college. Matter of fact, he led all defensive linemen in pressures when he was at Tennessee. This guy from the interior can get to the quarterback, and you put Tonga right over the nose. You're not worried about him. And then, of course, well, we all know Tonga plays a lot on offense as well at fullback position. He even did going back to BYU. Like he was that extra blocker at fullback at BYU. Then he did it in the National Football League as well. So it frees up Omar Norman Lott to play more in his natural position and not have that extra weight that he gained last season.
2 questions. 1, do you think with the signing of Tonga, they will now kind of revert back to letting Norman Lott maybe drop a little bit of that weight, play a little lighter, go back to what his original play style will be? And
I hope so.
And 2, with the signing of Tonga, do you think we might get introduced back into the playbook on the offensive side, maybe a little bit more of that playful Dontari Poe package that they used to have, or at least lining up in the backfield as a blocker, maybe even get a touch this season?
And he's a big dude that can block.
Exactly.
He's a big dude that can block. And short yardage situations, what kind of creative things could they think with him? I would totally expect Tonga to be in the backfield at some point. You don't have to carry your fullback at that point. You put Tonga back there just to have a little bit of fun. He plays 45 to 50% of the snaps on defense. And Kader Kohu at cornerback was a nice move for the Chiefs because that's definitely, obviously, losing Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie, something they need. And then Alohi Gilman at safety. This is the thing. Cook's now in Cincinnati. You needed a safety. Obviously, I do like a lot of the safeties in the draft, and I think that they can hit on that possibly in the mid-rounds. Unless Caleb Banks happens to sit out there at number 9, and that's the kind of the area they decide to go in. But Kenneth Walker, then Amari DiMaccardo, can't forget about him, the running back that came over from Arizona. Didn't play a ton, but he's an explosive player, and he showed that explosiveness when he was with the Cardinals. Do you remember when Gannon was coaching there? Do you remember him getting into it with DiMaccardo? Because DiMaccardo dropped the football. He was on a 72-yard run. He dropped it
right before the goal line.
Remember, and Gannon got in his face. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And that might have spelled the end of him as a head coach because he got right in his face, put his hands on him.
I was going to say, that was when he shoved him, right?
Yeah, you don't touch players, man. You don't play. But that was now the Kansas City Chiefs, DiMaccardo, that he touched in Arizona. But, hey, can the Chiefs still draft a running back in the mid-rounds?
Of course.
I think so. It's not as imperative now from what they got, but they did address the position. They need to address the position, and they did. And Kenneth Walker, the thing I like most about him is his explosive runs. Dude's an explosive player when he gets out. He breaks tackles, too. He's one of the leaders in the NFL. Rate. He's ranked inside the top 12 in missed tackle forced rate every season since entering the league in 2022. That's huge. Remember, Pacheco, he did not have one single rushing attempt, which he gained 20 or more yards. Kenneth Walker, by the way, forced a missed tackle on 30.2% of his touches, third highest in the NFL. That will play, my friend. 61 missed tackles last season. The Chiefs combined for a total of 49 missed tackles. That is what you call play. Not only that, they always look, how much can the player help the team, and how much can the player help another player on the team? Like in tandem with Mahomes and Walker. Like with the safeties and where they go. Because if Mahomes, they're worried about Mahomes, and he backs him up, and they're worried in too high situation. Does that open up running lanes for Kenneth Walker? Because they didn't have running backs that could exploit those lanes. You thought Pacheco could. I mean, he had 4.37 speed at the combine, but he couldn't do it. He was a great runner on first and second down, but he couldn't do crap on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. He just couldn't do it, which is hard as he runs. And the Kyle Brandts of the world that just glossed and glazed over Isaiah Pacheco and how tough of a runner he was. Where was the toughness on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1? It wasn't there. It didn't exist. But Walker, put him back there, yeah, there's a way that he and Mahomes working off each other, working that defense, to where if one of them's struggling with the defense that's being provided, the other one excels. So I cannot wait to see what they can do in that situation. We'll get to it, but there's still a glaring weakness on the team. They still have nobody to catch the football. Yeah, I know Tyquan's back here with the Kansas City Chiefs, but that is not the answer at wide receiver for this team. Do I expect them to do something? I 100% expect them to do something, and we'll talk about that going forward. But I don't think you can go through this draft with having two. Like when they have their press conference with all the rookie wide receivers that come back, there should be two wide receivers sitting up there at the podium talking for the Kansas City Chiefs, building this wide receiver room for the future. Yeah, a lot of defensive line on this in this draft class to get. I wouldn't be surprised 2 to 3 guys on defensive line, a couple wide receivers. There's a way the Chiefs can do it, and can they make moves with some of the picks that I'll talk about to garner possibly a wide receiver, having those Orlando Brown flashbacks of what all they needed to do to go get him. So I'm definitely excited when they get those picks, because now with 6 picks, you can't miss. With 9, you can take a few more chances.
They just have so much room to play with. And I mean, just going back a week ago, it was looking very, I mean, it had to be a guarantee. Now you have so many things to play with, so many different options. With bringing in Kenneth Walker, you now have, I mean, the world is their oyster now. The NFL is their oyster. The draft is their oyster. They can do so many different things, and I'm super excited to see where they go, and I'm going to love talking with all these different options and possibilities with you.
Oh, it's going to be fun. And the text here says about the limit speed, because he ran anywhere from a 4.48 to 4.52 range, something like that. He did not run at the combine. He ran at the pro day. Here's the one thing about the 40 running. It is so close, that difference between like a 4.56 to a 4.48. That is, but what can you do with pads on? What can you do when they're out to hit you? Can you still deliver hits? Can you catch the football? Because, do you think Devontae Adams is any good? He ran a 4.56. Does that mean he sucks? Puka Nacua, same speed. Are we saying he sucks? No, he led the NFL in catches. So, yeah, I mean, you're concerned about that. But then when you see what a lot of these other guys ran that you think were great, I just mentioned Isaiah Pacheco ran a 4.37. That's blazing fast for a running back. He wasn't that good.
Hey, John Ross ran a 4.22, and he was out of the league in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
and Xavier
matters.
Worthy's the fastest guy in NFL history at the 40 combine, and he's not exactly lighting it up.
Speed matters, but it all is how it translates onto the field. So when we're making, I think the thing with the combine is it hyper focuses you on numbers instead of production.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it because there is options available. And the top 25 mocks, I like doing that every episode.
You're the mock king over here, man.
Well, I like doing it because I like
the
to
draft
see,
connoisseur.
And it doesn't mean a damn thing. It really does. And when earlier on when we were doing it, it really didn't mean anything because it was pre-combine. And then they started tightening up a little bit after the combine. And then, of course, when free agency hit, they've all changed. Do you remember me, Blake? I would sit in here and I always look at 25 latest releases from Fox, ESPN, The Athletic. It didn't matter. We look at them. Bleacher Report, you name it. And it was dominated by Jeremiah Love, which obviously you can understand why that was at that point. People, obviously, when you get Kenneth Walker, that Jeremiah Love considerations, not there. But it got as much as 14 out of 25 of the mocks for Jeremiah Love last Friday. And by the way, I did it tonight. Spoiler, none. There was none, which, yeah, he's probably going to go earlier. And then, of course, with ETN going to, or HN, which he said he changed his name again today, with him going to the Saints and then picking 8th, if Jeremiah Love's sitting out there, if he does make it through and he's not selected early, which draft slides do happen, and they happen at an alarming rate, and there's teams out there that want to make that jump to make that move, Jeremiah Love could come into play if he's still sitting there, because I doubt the Saints do it at 8, and then the Chiefs definitely wouldn't do it at 9. But could they trade out of that pick and be able to get even more draft capital and still stay in the first round, but still have 2 first-round picks, but slide back to 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that area if Jeremiah Love is still on the table? So he could still be a valuable asset for the Kansas City Chiefs if he does remain on the board. I doubt he does. I think he goes, before they were going to pick anyway, but it's nice to think about.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been so funny how you've seen all the mocks, everything change in such a week with all these teams filling needs. Now that their strategies are completely different, and we're never going to know. All these mock drafts, like you said, they're just fun. They're fun, but it's always different on draft day.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. But There's
the
a little
possibilities.
There's a little more thought that I think goes into them now because now you really find out what teams need.
Yeah, you have
what
better
they
ideas of
addressed
where
in free
everybody sits.
agency. Because clearly, Jeremiah Love's a good example. I mean, this guy completely dominated mock drafts for the Kansas City Chiefs. Completely. But they get Kenneth Walker, and all of a sudden it changes. And it's a different position than you might be thinking about, that they're dominating with the Kansas City Chiefs at 9. But so many more possibilities about moving around for the Kansas City Chiefs, trying to fill this roster. And as far as a wide receiver, too, I definitely think where I think they might be going at wide receiver from what we've seen. But coming up next, we'll look at this front office. And now the pressure is on for Brett Veach and company to deliver. Plus, we'll keep you updated when Team USA plays Team Canada coming up here in about 45 minutes. We'll talk about the Big 12 tournament and that silly court that's now gone. The hardwood's back, baby. The hardwood is back. They made the decision. They moved it back to the Wizard of Oz looking black and white, not colored.
Their Technicolor groove that they were using.
So the players were as weird as like you're watching, with color TV switched, during the middle of that production of that show is really weird. But they're not doing that. So we'll talk about that. But I am curious where people sit on the draft and as far as wide receiver is concerned too, because I haven't heard a lot of worried about it. I know everybody's excited about Kenneth Walker and all this with the Chiefs and Travis Kelce's coming back. My question is, then what? Then what? What happens if Rice gets banged? What happens if Xavier Worthy doesn't deliver and gets hurt? Who's going to catch the ball? Tyquan? Is he going to be your guy? No. You got to have more than that. We'll talk about the front office next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Taking a look at the pro football futures market following Minnesota signing Arizona's former starting quarterback. Minnesota to make the playoffs next year, yes. Plus 185. No, a pretty big favorite at minus 220. And I don't see it that way. Minnesota won 9 games last year with 3 substandard quarterbacks. And now you add this new quarterback to the mix who might not be a top 10, top 15 quarterback, but I think he's good enough to get Minnesota over the hump. I love Minnesota's coaching staff. I think Minnesota will make the playoffs coming up this year. I like it at plus 185. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. A tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Game. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain Scent Boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time span on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low of 39.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Football season is officially over, but the offseason is just beginning, and 96.5 The Fan will be there every step of the way. We'll have people at the Combine in Indianapolis. We'll be at Arrowhead during free agency. And yes, we'll be live in Pittsburgh for the NFL Draft in April. One of the biggest offseasons in recent history is underway, and there's only one station you need to listen to, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Steelers, Friday night, after hours. Going right up to Royals baseball. A little later start at 8 tonight. By the way, the Dominican up 3-0 on Korea, top of the third. U.S. and Canada set to go from Houston at 7 o'clock tonight. And as far as the Big 12 tournament, Iowa State, in all their money-spending fans, 20. Arizona, 12. I guess one of their columnists had out there, and we'll get to it later, about Kansas City being kind of blah, blah for Big 12 tournament, how it needs to move around. No, it doesn't need to move around.
Not at all.
What's weird is Kansas City does just fine. This is a World Cup city, by the way. This is a city that's hosted the NFL draft. The Big 12, this town makes the Big 12 tournament a very big deal. And it's always one of those things, Blake, and you know people that do that. Like if you haven't been around for a while and you just show up and start making rules or you start making suggestions even though you haven't shown up for the longest time. It's like a family member or anything else. You do things a certain way. You guys have Christmas a certain way, Thanksgiving a certain way, and you just show up and start saying, well, we need to move this here, move this, but you haven't been showing up. And it's like you're coming in and dictating all these rules. Well, that's not the way things go. It's not the way things are run. This is the way it is. This is a success. I've been in other cities that have had the Big 12 tournaments, like back page news. Back when they had newspapers, like it was in Dallas one time. It was like page 9 in their local sports section. But in Kansas City, you know about the Big 12 tournament the minute you fly in and you see the marquees as soon as you're leaving the airport. It's a big deal.
I heard Fesco talking about this, and did we ever know who was it? Who? Because I'm assuming it was somebody who's a newcomer to the Big 12 the past couple of years.
It was an Arizona columnist.
Oh, yep, makes sense. Yeah, check the box.
Yeah, so that's what it was. I'll never forget.
New kid on the block wants to start making different ways and how we're picking basketball.
The new rules, like somebody new coming in here and making new rules.
Yeah, you're a estranged aunt from that you haven't seen in 10 years. Shows up to Christmas. We should all do it at my house next year. Like, all right, Becky.
It's like one of these guys the Chiefs picked up. Like Tonga or Walker or somebody or Gilman coming in and saying, well, this is how I think we should do things. And then you got Mahomes sitting there, Kelsey sitting there, Chris Jones sitting there saying, dude, we've been in 5 in the last 7 Super Bowls. Got a 3-time Super Bowl. It's like, not saying they would do that, but that'd be like the equivalent of them coming in and trying to make rules how the Chiefs run. And it's like, hey.
Slow your roll, Junior.
Slow your roll. This is not how we do things. This is not how we do things at all. So that is interesting how that goes. 24-14 now, Iowa State over Arizona, who was had the columnist there complaining about it. People love this. The Iowa State fans were quick to defend it. They love it, man, because they can get in their car and head down to Kansas City, ride the streetcar, stay in the hotels, drink a ton of beer, spend a lot of money. This is like perfect for them.
They
This is home away
flood
from
Power
home.
and Light.
Oh, and Kansas City loves them. They love the
Power and
Iowa
Light.
State fans. Iowa State fans mean money to the economy.
Oh, yeah. It's a great central location for all the main teams.
Yeah. Well, I've been other places that have it. In 2015, I was in New York when the Royals were in the World Series, right? I'll never forget this, but so I took a cab one time. We were doing our show from Manhattan back to Queens, and sitting in there in the cab, he said, "Where you from?" I said, "Oh, from Kansas City." "What are you doing here?" They said, "World Series." The Royals are in against the Mets, so just coming out, going to that. It's such a big city and so many things are going on.
He didn't even know.
In Kansas City, I guarantee you back in 2015, if there isn't even cabs anymore besides Ubers, just your Uber driver, whatever, guarantee they probably knew the Royals. If the Royals were in the World Series and the game was a home game versus the Mets, I guarantee you they probably would have known that it's going on at Kauffman Stadium because that would have been a hot place to drive to, would be there. It's what's going on in Kansas City.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'd probably have known.
You couldn't step outside your house, go to the grocery store, open your phone, turn on the TV without hearing about it.
But regardless, that's where we sit. So always, we'll get to that later. But as far as this draft, a lot of people asking questions on the text line about Omar Cooper Jr. or Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver from Tennessee. Seeing a lot of end of the first round for them. And again, I think there could be an argument met. And that's one of the things I brought on Lance Zierlein, who's a draft guy. Not just a draft guy. He's the one that puts every bio out at NFL.com. Like when you do the combine tracker for what the guys are doing at the combine, the guy that's run the streaks, the weaknesses, and a little about the player's history, all 319 players were all done by him. So he has a real working knowledge of every player that was at the combine. 319 worth, which, only 257 guys will probably be drafted at this point. A lot of undrafted free agents, out of that 319, because that whole 319 won't be drafted. Of course, there's not enough slots for it to happen. But I asked him, I said, there's two questions. There's two questions. There's one for a GM and one for a draft guy. And the question for the GM is, how many first-round grades does your organization have? Like Brett Veach has been pretty transparent about it. Don't know if he's been asked that particular question. I always like when he asks because he's pretty straightforward with it, and most GMs are, because it's not a tell at all, but this 15 to 20 or something like that. I bring up all the time where Trent McDuffie, the Chiefs had a first-round grade on him, but he slides into the 20s, and they were like, oh, crap, we need to go up and get this guy because we had a first-round grade on him. That's how the organization viewed him, as a first-round graded player and not outside the first round, because I know it's still technically in the first round when you're 18 to 32 or whatever, but it's not how the GMs view it. You're essentially a second rounder in their mind. And he was good. Guy was an all-pro, so look at the haul you got for him. So they were right. That was a first-round selection. Now, that's the question. How many do you have? Because Veach was very transparent when they took 25 guys off their top 100 because they returned back to school. Now, he did say that at the Combine. So 25 of his top 100 came off. 63 underclassmen declared for the NFL draft this year. That's down about 52%, maybe 54% from where it was in 2021, just 5 years ago. 131 guys declared. But what changed? Well, what changed was name, image, and likeness. Guys that are, mid-round picks get millions of dollars to stay at school. That changes the draft. And GMs have to be used to it. Like Dante Moore, when he decided to go back to Oregon, that changed things, like in the Jets' mind. Like, here's a guy that was going to be our guy, our signal caller, throwing the football, going back to school. You have to pivot and change in a flash when guys decide to go back to college. Because GMs, they're not going to the NFL like they used to all go to before, when you could make millions of dollars just staying right where you're at, or basically going to another, like these quarterbacks, these fringe late-round quarterbacks that are going and grabbing $500,000 to $1 million just to play one extra year. The Will Howards of the world that go to Ohio State there at the end, get that check, and it's hard to blame them, and he got a national title out of the deal. But they're staying in school a little bit longer. Now, can it help NFL teams? Yeah, they get one more year of seasoning, unless you're a running back. And in my opinion, you get that extra year of wear and tear, the extra 200 to 300 carries that you have. That does wear down the body. So what A lot of positions, it makes sense to me. Running backs, it does not.
I'm in full agreement. I would say running back, if you're up there projected or anywhere close to being nabbed, go do it because, like you said, the wear and tear on the body, the extra 200, 300, 400, depending on where you're coming from, the 200, 300 carries. I mean, running backs just don't have a long life in this league. So if you are available and eligible and you can go get some money in the NFL, get that NFL money as quick as you can because your life, your
but it does
playing
happen,
life
though.
expectancy is not going to be as long as, hell, somehow even offensive linemen who, arguably have the hardest job and the most physical job, somehow they have way longer lives.
Well, one of the guys
you're playing that music again.
I heard it. Yeah. One of the guys I really like is Mark Fletcher. He's 225-pound running back from Miami. Had over 1,100 yards this year. He's way eligible to go to the NFL. 5.5 yards a carry. He's not, though. That's the one surprise thing. You'd rather see Mark Fletcher. That guy did more stiff arms. I mean, that was the college version of Derrick Henry, the way he would run over people and do that. I mean, he carried the ball like an NFL player. He's going back to Miami, even though he doesn't have to. And yeah, because Mark Fletcher was the guy.
Silly, man.
Fletcher was the guy a lot of Chiefs fans liked. I remember through the college football playoffs, they were really talking about Fletcher and, when they were looking at different running backs and what they could do. And yeah, I'd love to have Mark Fletcher, but he's going back to Miami. He didn't have to. He can go straight to the NFL at this point, but he's going back, at this case. So it's one of those situations where you didn't get your guy, quote, to jump. But someone's asked me about Omar Cooper and Chris Brazel. And my question to GMs is obviously how many first-round grades do you have on players? And then the question to the draft guys, like a Zerline, somebody like that is, do you find the same value? It used to be at 40. Like, do you find the same value picking 40 at 9? Is there that much of a difference between wide receivers and edges at 9 that you could see at 40? And you could apply, because there's not really like that home run guy that is going to be an instant success in the NFL. But you could make that argument now at 29. Can you still get a quality wide receiver 29 that you could have at 9? Could you still get an edge like a Zion Young, a Derek Moore out of Michigan, Gabe Jackas from Illinois? Can you still get a quality edge at 29 instead of at 9? Because I don't think there's that Grand Canyon size difference from those positions, from those draft slots, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't really see that true home run guy. There's a lot of maybes. The true home run guy, I think it's Caleb Banks, despite the injury concerns and everything with him. I think that's the best player in the first round, to be quite honest with you. And I think he's going to be a dynamic pro. We haven't seen a guy like that come out from the secondary since Kyle Hamilton, but Hamilton was much bigger than Caleb Banks, and he plays everywhere, from nickel to safety to corner. He'd even put him an edge. They do everything with him because he's 6'4" frame. He can do those things. He's 4 inches taller than Caleb Banks, so it does make a difference. But that's the question. Can you still get somebody at the end of the first round that you could have at 9? And I think sometimes, to be honest with you, in this particular draft, you can. 27 draft, no. In this one, yes.
No, I think it's a year-to-year thing, as we all know. So I feel like you'd almost have to re-ask that question pertaining, if you're gonna talk to Zerline again, you'd almost have to ask that question each year. Because I think each year, like you said, the different draft classes, there isn't. I think there's so many different possibilities with guys, and we've seen how they, like you said, some will slide, some will move up. Combine shows you how people can move up in the draft. Combine shows you how people can slide in the draft. I think that's definitely a year-to-year question, but those are two great questions.
Only 6 guys did all the events. Only 6 guys did all the events. So I came away from that combine, which has been like this every year, where guys cherry pick what events they're doing because they're good at them and they'll do them. It's not like the days where the vertical, you're in vertical, broad, you did everything. The 40, you did everything. 6 guys did them all. That's it. And the arm length that comes into question, obviously Reuben Baines and others, people talking about their arm length and those things. It is interesting, though. There's 46 offensive line prospects in last year's that went to the combine last year. 46. 43 of those 46, and we're in pro day area now. There's USC just had their pro day, and more teams are having their pro days each and every day at this point. 43 of those 46 guys' arms grew between the combine and pro day. Wink, wink. They didn't really grow. They were measured differently.
Newsflash.
So, would I be shocked if Reuben Baines' arms magically grew by the time that Miami did their pro day? Wouldn't be
No, not
surprised
at
at all. I mean, there was all these things from Schefter throwing them out there about guys being faster than they actually ran, like Garnell Tate and guys like that. It's like, oh, two guys had him faster. Well, what do you mean faster? Well, they had a Starbucks in one hand, a stopwatch in the other, up in a suite. And I'm supposed to take that number more than the timed, scientific, measured 40 laser timed from the field that they're watching their feet, where they're running. It's timed the whole way down. I'm supposed to believe up in a suite is more accurate than on the field.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, that's like the whole thing with Diego Pavia when he's listed at 6 foot all year round for the last 2 years, and all of a sudden he gets to the combine. Turns out he's 5'9".
And some guys with their actual size. Ruben Bain, by the way, he was 6'3", 275 in his Miami bio, which the thought out there was, well, with the shorter arms, can you move him inside? Because he said he's willing to move inside, which is fine. But he went to the combine, he was 6'2", 263. 263 and 275 is different, much different in weight, how you view an edge or a 3 technique or even a 5 technique in football, the extra 12 pounds that you can get. So, yeah, there's a lot of things, but Miami is known for home cooking at their pro days. So we'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. Coming up next, though, we'll take a look at some of these picks the Chiefs got. They all spoke at Arrowhead Stadium yesterday, and I really like this group, man. I think they hit some home runs in free agency. We'll discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by A.B. May. Trust A.B. May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, March Matchups fans. BetMGM is offering a legendary experience for you and 3 of your friends in Vegas. Climb the BetMGM Court of Legends leaderboard for a chance to win the trip of a lifetime to Las Vegas to see Haley and Hannah Cavender face off at the Bellagio. Just sign into your BetMGM account, opt into the promotion, then start placing sports bets of at least $10 to climb the leaderboard. 25 winners will take home grand prize packages that include 4 tickets to the Court of Legends event featuring the Cavender twins, withdrawable funds for travel, a 3-night stay at the MGM Grand, and MGM Resorts credit. Make this March one to remember. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offers. Subject to eligibility requirements. Withdrawable bonus dollars for flight money. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, never with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship, because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Is your garage door dropping the ball? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Deldon, Amar, and LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoor.com.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
Over time, your home's exterior takes a beating. You might notice faded colors or peeling paint. You need to call my friends at CertaPro Painters, whether you're thinking about the inside or outside of your home. Their free estimates are detailed and easy to understand, and you'll get a quote right away. Ask about their spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. And remember, each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in KC. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Steeders. 31-24, Iowa State over Arizona. 5:50 left in the first. Court looks somewhat normal, although it's last year's, has a Big 12 logo everywhere, like all up and down the court. So still have to deal with that, but oh well, it's better than that thing that they were using for a court the last couple of days. Kenneth Walker and Tonga, Gilman, the rest of them at Arrowhead Stadium yesterday. Speaking, Kenneth Walker talked about I like this guy, Blake, I'll be honest with you, because he stands on business, man. He does. I mean, Kenneth Walker's one of these dudes. He doesn't go out. He doesn't do anything. He stays at home, right? He goes home. He works out. It's football with this dude. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to like Kenneth Walker. He likes to run over you, through you, not around you, which he will do. And I like that kind of mentality. And that paired with Eric Bieniemy, that's an intense group that you have right there is Kenneth Walker.
Just trying to go get another one. I know we got a lot of great guys on the team. Like I said, I'm ready to get to know them and, just go out there and do my best,
And this is about him feeling wanted by the Chiefs.
It means a lot, you feel appreciated and wanted, that's what everybody wants. So I'm just happy to get in here and be able to get to know the guys and work.
I do like this guy, man. I like his attitude. It permeates. I mean, you think about culture building and who you're bringing into your locker room. Obviously, you bring in a Super Bowl MVP from the Super Bowl, and automatically you get that instant credibility right away. Not that they didn't have a lot of credibility for Kenneth Walker anyway, but you add that little caveat to your bio. That is strong. Gilman comes in at safety, and I really like this pick as well. This guy's a tough, hard-nosed guy, too, that's willing to come up and hit people. That's one thing I noticed about the Chiefs. They get some hard-nosed football players, especially on defense, that are willing to come in. Tonga, is tough on the defensive line, but Gilman will come in and hit you as well. He's a ball hawk. He's versatile. I like his attitude and what he brings, but he's excited to work with Spags. Aloha, Gilman.
Our conversations didn't go too deep. However, I think just him understanding the game on a high level, I think that's what he brings out of players as well. So that's my interpretation of it so far, and I'm sure it'll grow even more. But I think him as a coach, he brings out the best on a high level, not just physically, but mentally as a leader. And that's what this game's about. It's finding those inches or miles. And so I think that part is something that I'm really excited to be a part of. Obviously he's a mastermind, and I want to get to that level as well. So I'm happy to be a part of it and to work with him.
There's the Spags influence from a defensive player, respecting defensive coordinator and what he can do and the creative things that he knows that he can do with him as a player. But here was Gilman about just his game always evolving over the years.
For me, like, I've evolved over the years, from college to now. As a young cat, you want to go and just run into everything and, hit everything, and you still have that mentality. But for me, it's just the mental part of coming in and finding every way and to gain inches, yards, feet in this game, and that's what safety is about, seeing the whole field, playing that chess match against, the best quarterbacks in the league, the Joe Burrows, the Patrick Mahomes, the Aaron Rodgers, all the guys, Josh Allen. So for me, I love that game. That's what brings the best out of me as a player, as a competitor. The physical stuff is what it is. You're going to come out there and you're going to go and hoop and ball, and that's what it is. But the mental part is, as a safety, is what, I love playing that chess match. I've had many battles with Mahomes, and unfortunately it hasn't always ended the right way I wanted, but I'm glad to be a part of this opportunity and to go out there and play my brand of football.
He has had some interesting games against Mahomes, including picking him off at one point as well. And when he did that, he really thought that he made it at that point. But, yeah, I just like the attitude and tenor and the culture of what these guys bring to the team. They're good dudes. They're hard hitters. They love football. It's like the perfect mixture of what you get. You hope you get it when you draft players, but you don't exactly know until they've actually played a couple of years and you have a track record.
Well, and I always love bringing in safeties that are hard hitters. I mean, I grew up. I mean, Eric Berry was one of my favorite players. We all remember the Eric Berry days, and since then, it seems like they continue to get guys that aren't afraid to hit. I mean, 90 tackles last year from Gilman between Baltimore and LA, and that just shows he's not afraid to go stick his nose in. I mean, 90 tackles, almost 100 tackles from your safety, that can be looked at as a bad thing that they're getting back into the secondary. That also can be looked at as a good thing that some guys are willing to get in there, stick his nose right on the ball, and not afraid to take anybody out.
And I think the Honey Badger kind of helped trying to kind of change and define the role. Just kind of like we've seen Chris Jones being outside and inside, looking for that versatile type of player. Because Tyrann Mathieu, literally, before he came to Kansas City, was in Houston, played every single position. It was where he lined up. His snaps were at every single position except nose. But a guy that can play all over the place. And, because you ask your safety a lot of times, to slide down to the linebacker role, come up to the line of scrimmage. You ask your safeties to do a lot of stuff. Maybe they're in the nickel, in coverage and everything else. You ask your safeties to do a lot. They really become leaders on the field from what you have. So it's definitely good to see what the guys they brought in. I'm excited what they do, of course, for the NFL draft, but we'll get to that. But the Big 12 rolls on, and the one big change they made today, and if you follow along on 96.5's Twitter account, you see pictures of the new court. Drew Nixon's out there, man. He's been all over this new court. Did you guys happen to notice this thing yesterday? I mean, we'll talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts, with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Coming to Kansas City, the NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship. 16 teams, 15 games, 6 days, 1 national champion. The NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship at Municipal Auditorium, March 19th through the 24th. Get your tickets now at NAIAHoops.com.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. Here's how it works. Very simple. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. So that's 10 chances to play all tourney long, from game props to money lines, spreads, totals, futures, and much more. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for your shot at an even bigger payout. However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. FanDuel, it's time to dance. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Must apply select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Steeners. We'll talk about what I'd like to see him do at the wide receiver position coming up at 7 o'clock. But the World Baseball Classic, by the way, 7-0 now Dominican over Korea. Dominican Republic 7-0 in the bottom of the third. U.S. and Canada square off at 7 o'clock. It's going to be fun. Then Team USA would play again on Sunday. It's just a lot of fun, man. It's just a lot of fun. I love the WC. I think it's
I have been locked in, man.
I have
been locked in.
It's been fun to watch. And then the Royals are doing great things. And obviously the whole Vinny and Witt thing, they live together at spring training. They call it the Witz-Carlton?
The Witz-Carlton, yeah.
And
they're matching
MLB.com or the
mugs.
MLB Twitter's putting out the video from that. I mean, they're getting to be household names. And, of course, with Venezuela, you got several of the Royals players as well in that. There's Giancarlo Salvi and Michael Garcia, and you have Lugo pitching in Puerto Rico. But with Bobby Witt starting tonight and leading off for Team USA, it's going to be fun. We'll bring you that in just a minute. Iowa State now just 1 point over Arizona with 2:27 left in the first. On that is you saw that court. That is a hardwood court, but it's got that logo everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the Big 12 logo is like it's the same court they used from the year ago, but it's Big 12 like literally everywhere. I know it's not the best looking court, but it is hardwood.
I will say it
that
tricked
thing.
me. We've got it on here in the production studio back here, and it tricked me because at first we were talking about how they switched it, and I'm like, that looks like the same court though. But it's just that shade of gray they've got on it is deceiving. But yeah, when they got closer, yeah, they did switch it. It's hardwood.
I give them credit for switching it out because I mean seriously. I mean, that had to be tough. I mean, you're trying this new thing. You get people talking about it. Obviously, you have 3 of the top 7 teams in the country playing the Big 12 tournament. It's getting a lot of attention on it. People are talking about it. Scott Van Pelt's talking about it, on ESPN. Then you make the deal. If they're not slipping, I think it's cool. I mean, there's some things about it. It takes some getting used to, no question about it. But when you're watching it, the choice of the court colors, again, it looks black and white. Then the players – it's like when TV made that switch from black and white to color. But they do some cool things with where you're shooting from and the players' highlights and stuff like that. It is very, very distracting. And I don't know if you saw this, Blake, but I know that people that bought those courtside seats, they could not drink anything. I'm not just talking liquor. I'm talking pop, anything. You couldn't drink anything in the courtside seats. You paid that big money to sit there, but in case you spilled it, it would ruin those panels, and that was probably an issue as well.
You're telling me I'm paying $100, $200, $300, $400?
Well, you can drink a beer,
and
but
I can't have a brewski by the court?
You got to go up and drink it, slam it.
Well, I'm slamming a couple before I'm going back to my seat then.
You do whatever. You spent the high price, so anyway, they can now have their drinks back at this point. It's in your marks always like that. Let's go with something trendy. Let's try the new thing, get people to talk about it. And they did talk about it. They talked about it. And they're trying to incorporate more and more of this in professional sports. The NHL, I don't know if you watch the NHL. I watch the NHL, those boards that they have around the ice. Those are different for whichever broadcaster show it. Like if Tampa's showing the game, it'll look different than Detroit or whatever because they can sell those.
Yeah.
And you can't notice it at the stadium, but you can on TV.
Yes.
The boards will change to different advertisers, but they can do that digitally on TV, and it doesn't disrupt the play or the players.
Yeah.
They don't see it. Whatever's on the board stays on the board.
It's a regional promotion.
Yeah, they can change. So they are trying to figure out ways to make money. And
they always are.
You see in the outfield, the ads change all the time because that's out there, and they can easily do that. So just had to find a ways to make that extra money. But that court had way too much going on. If you had any kind of vertigo or migraines or anything, yeah, you had issues.
Turning the channel.
But I'm glad they made the decision. Like Gormore, didn't wait around. They made the decision, switched it back to hardwood. I mean, that's, at the right time. I mean, you get down to the semifinals and finals, last thing you want to do is see a player get hurt.
I was just about to say.
Because you were trying to showcase your fancy new court.
Yeah, when it comes to player safety, that should take stage number one. It does not matter. That is the priority. And if you're just trying to make a couple extra bucks and sacrificing player safety, shame on you. So I'm glad that they listened. That's smart on their part, because if something bad were to happen, or one of the stars of the tournament goes down, maybe a Peterson for KU, everybody would be up in arms about it.
Yeah, 100% they would have. And the decision, do we play in this game or not because of the court?
Exactly.
Is it too dangerous to go play? Because obviously these guys are looking at the next level, and you see it. You don't like to see load management type in college basketball, but it probably does exist, to be honest with you.
Probably, yeah, we know it exists.
But you just got to be careful. And with football, guys choose not to play in the bowl games and everything else, which you understand. The college football playoffs, we haven't really seen that as much at all at this point, really. But bowl games we have. That extra game, that extra wear and tear. Some guys playing it, some guys don't. I know Washington did, like pro prospects, like Denzel Boston, the wide receiver, he played in their bowl game. Jonah Coleman, the running back. Both these guys are going to be high draft picks. Both of them played in their bowl game. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I like the fact that the commissioner said, all right, we're going to make the change on it, and we're going to go out and do it. It's innovative. I get it. When they shoot a three-pointer, it lights up. Okay? It's okay.
Whoop-de-doo.
But again, just old-fashioned, just if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Coming up next, our phone number, by the way, 913-586-7965. Also, the Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. So, yes, the Chiefs are fixing certain positions. Some have not been fixed. Wide receiver, edge rusher, you name it. Can they still make that difference before the draft? Or do they need to go out and make a deal to bring in somebody for those positions as well? We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Taking a look at the pro football futures market following Minnesota signing Arizona's former starting quarterback. Minnesota to make the playoffs next year, yes. plus 185. No, a pretty big favorite at minus 220. And I don't see it that way. Minnesota won 9 games last year with 3 substandard quarterbacks. And now you add this new quarterback to the mix who might not be a top 10, top 15 quarterback, but I think he's good enough to get Minnesota over the hump. I love Minnesota's coaching staff. I think Minnesota will make the playoffs coming up this year. I like it at plus 185. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March and Kansas City is crazy about college hoops. Pick your bracket, call your friends, and count on Hy-Vee for all your game day snacks. Hy-Vee makes your watch party easy with a huge selection of ready-to-serve party trays, boneless wings, barbecue, sushi, pizza, and fresh bakery goods. Order ahead through the Hy-Vee app, online, or at your favorite store. Even if your bracket is a bust, your watch party will be a winner only at Hy-Vee.
If you're like me, you're feeling the pinch of high prices right now on just about everything. And that's where my friends at Hy-Vee come in to save the day. Because they're always finding ways at Hy-Vee to save me money, like amazing fuel saver deals. Shop Hy-Vee this Saturday and Sunday and get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount when you spend $60 on groceries. And you can stack up the savings on Hy-Vee fuel saver deals, and your next fill-up could even be free. There's nothing better than saving money, only at Hy-Vee.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Love college basketball? Gear up for another exciting season of college ball with a special offer from BetMGM. Sign into your BetMGM account and enjoy a college basketball odds boost token to snag even more winnings on your next bet. Just log into the BetMGM Sportsbook app, add any college basketball bet to your bet slip, and activate your odds boost token. If you win your bet with your token activated, you'll score extra winnings. It's that simple. Log in and enjoy our odds boost token to help you create another memorable season of college ball. Head for the net with BetMGM all season long. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in D.C., Mississippi, New York, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Follow us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content at The Fan 965, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Sneeders, 7 o'clock hour. Royals and Diamondbacks come up next, but the WBC, my friend, is getting ready to go. We've got the quarterfinals, USA v. Canada. You've been watching all the games? You watch Vinny hit 3 home runs the other night?
So I tuned in later in the game when I got home. I was working late, and I was just in time for his second home run. Then I got to see his third home run, and I was losing it. I was texting the boys in the group chat. I was like, Vinny's on fire. The Pasquatch goes deep again. I was announcing it in my own house with it on mute.
I mean, yeah, get excited for Royals baseball. I mean, that's right around the corner as well. We get that. You get the World Cup coming time. We get the draft coming up at the end of April. There's so many things. We talk about with the great sports spring I guess it's technically still winter, and then
I guess technically.
I think
what Punxsutawney Phil say? Is it still winter yet? I think he said it
more
is.
weeks.
Yeah,
the groundhog said 6 more weeks.
We've had some faux spring. We've had a fool's spring a couple times where it's like the weather's getting real nice. I'm looking at my pair of shorts over there, thinking they're about to be calling my name. Next thing you know, I got hail in my front porch.
Yeah, and I'm still in
denting up
shorts.
my car.
Still in shorts this winter.
You're always in shorts, though,
Bing.
Bing. I think you were in shorts when it was like 10 degrees out, brother.
No, whenever the Chiefs played the Dolphins, remember it was like minus 30 wind chill or whatever.
I was at that game.
I actually put pants on.
What do you own? One pair of pants?
Usually if it's 20 and below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a pair for winter pants and a pair of slacks for weddings.
Yeah. Sweats.
Sweats. You're wearing sweats at weddings.
Hey, you got to be comfortable, my friend.
Yeah, they're black sweats, though. You know,
Always said
classy.
it takes 20 seconds to walk from the car into the building. So, I mean, you're going to be in the building the whole day.
True.
So, why not be
You
comfortable?
can't tough it out for 20 seconds. I mean,
Yeah. Why not just be comfortable with it?
you're the toughest guy I know, Bing.
But the weather, it's been great. And tomorrow I think it's gonna be great too. It's gonna be like 70. Then Sunday's gonna turn to crap again. And then it's what they say, I guess. I don't know if I will say this. Are they always right on precipitation you're gonna get? No. Are they always right on snowfall totals you're gonna get? No. But the one thing they rarely miss on is the temperature.
Yeah, temperature they can always get.
They rarely miss on that part. The other stuff, yeah, you might miss it, but they don't really miss on that. The other night you got hail too, you said.
Oh, yeah.
Hail was all around. That was some of the biggest hail I've ever seen in my life.
We had quarter-size to like walnut-size hail just pounding us in Waldo.
Those roofers have to love it because there was a lot of people affected with that 4.5-inch hail because it wasn't just hailstones coming down. It was all like,
Yeah,
big
you had
nubs
some
on it and
weird
everything.
ones
It was
up
like
by you.
spiked. It was like spiked and stuff. It was like baseball size and stuff with a spike. And then you hear it hitting your roof or whatever, and you're like, oh my God. It just makes you cringe when you hear it.
Yeah.
Because you sound the money, man.
Well,
It's the sound of money. And roofers have to I wonder what they think when they see that because that makes their year, man.
So I've got some buddies that are hail dent repair guys that travel
Oh, my
around in
God.
different city, Texas, Oklahoma, during this time of
Salivating.
the year.
Salivating.
Oh, they're raking in the dough. Once they find a storm, they're almost like storm chasers because that's exactly what they're doing. They're chasing it storm to storm. So I know the other night they were just listening with ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching in their ears.
It's like one good snowstorm will fill up a body shop, for months.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Just one good little snowstorm like that. So I guarantee the roofers going crazy over the events that happened this previous week. 913-586-7965 is the phone number. One thing that's becoming more clear, it looks like to me, there was an incident that happened with the Chiefs a couple years ago, Blake, and follow me with this. Orlando Brown. When the Chiefs made the move with the Ravens, of all teams, they do it with a rival, and they needed a proven guy to play in the offensive line. Love him, hate him, whatever, he was fine with the Chiefs. Won a ring with the Chiefs. Matter of fact, the Eagles in Super Bowl 57 didn't even have a sack in the game, so he did his job. And they were desperate for it because they were drafted at the end of the first round. And all the tackles that were out there, they didn't like. And the tackles weren't great. I mean, let's face it. You're getting one at the end of the first round. They're truly a great tackle, a starting caliber tackle. They're probably going to be drafted in the top 10 to 15. Or 1 through 15 is where a good quality tackle usually goes. So, yeah, you can still get good tackles, obviously, throughout the draft, but you got to be good. Like if you're going to get them in the second round or third round, which a lot of teams are built on. And the Chiefs have a lot of non-first rounders on their offensive line that are very good. Creed Humphrey, second rounder. Trey Smith, sixth rounder. Kingsley, a second rounder. You don't have to be a first rounder necessarily to work, but the Chiefs needed a true left tackle. They had an elite quarterback. They had a Super Bowl MVP quarterback, and they needed protection. I was shocked when they made the deal with the Ravens.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth.
What is that? Okay.
Your computer just really wants to join the show.
It's got a mind of its own. It threw me for a loop. But
I thought that was on my end.
I thought you were chiming in. You disagreed. So when they needed to make a move for Orlando Brown, they were desperate for a tackle. And the Trent Williams, deal, obviously he might be expendable too, whether the Chiefs make a move on it or not. You don't really truly need a left tackle, though, if you moved Josh over to right for, a year or so that you have a Trent Williams, because he's 37 years old at this point. But they really wanted Trent Williams when they got Orlando Brown. And he ended up re-upping with the Niners. And the Chiefs tried hard to get that deal done. Didn't work out, so now they're going to have to make a move. And they did. They found a willing trade partner. Shockingly, it was Baltimore, which is really weird how the Chiefs' biggest rivals are the ones that built up that team, because Mahomes, the Buffalo Bills trade, getting in front of the Bills to get McDuffie, needing a left tackle, you call up and get one from Baltimore of all places. And keep in mind, Harbaugh and Reed were, are good friends, and Harbaugh obviously was in Baltimore at that point, so good things happen. But typically, I doubt the Chiefs would have fielded phone calls from a competitor, right? You think if back in the day, and I bring this, you think if Belichick desperately needed a left tackle and he called about Eric Fisher, right? Back in the day, would he have done it? No, he wouldn't have taken the call. Wouldn't have done it. You don't want to help. Matter of fact, the Chiefs were aiming to beat the Patriots. That's why they brought in Spags. That's why they did the things they did. They had to beat that team, wanted to beat that team. And so the Chiefs were in a situation where they needed a proven left tackle. They wanted a proven guy that's played in the National Football League that could play in a left tackle and feel confident with it and win a ring. And they did. It worked out for them because they did win a ring with Orlando Brown. But wide receivers, and Andy Reid's track record of rookie wide receivers, it's not always the best. Has there been, asterisks to it? Sure. Deshaun Jackson. Xavier Worthy had 59 catches his rookie year, but he had to. He wasn't brought in to be that guy. Hollywood Brown was here. A lot of the same skill set. He gets hurt in preseason game 1 against Jacksonville. Rashee Rice goes down game 4, so it's all of a sudden Xavier Worthy's your dude. He's got to step up and be that first-round pick. So it's why he probably got 59 catches, to be quite honest with you. I'm sure that number goes way down. Had Rashee Rice played the whole year and had Hollywood Brown played the whole year, I don't think he gets to 59 catches. So if they look at the wide receivers at the combine and they're not blown away, like obviously taking a Denzel Boston or Chris Brazzell or Omar Cooper Jr. at 9 would be probably too early, to be honest with you. Or it would be too early to take those guys. But if they're not in love with the Carnell Tate, and maybe they like Mekhi Lemon and the potential, I think he can be like an Amon-Ra St. Brown type player, and they're not 100% sold on him, or for some reason Lemon goes before, and all of a sudden Tate's out there as the best wide receiver available, or Jordan Tyson. I know a lot of people like Jordan Tyson as well. I'm not in that camp. I do like the player a lot. I don't like the fact he's missed over 40% of his games. That part hurts. So when everybody's throwing out, what do you think of Jordan Tyson? Well, collarbone, the ACL, PCL he tore where he missed most of 2022, only played 3 games. He's literally missed about 40% of his games. That's a big number. Great player, but availability is kind of important.
Well, and we were actually talking about this before we got on air tonight, and we were talking about how different injuries, injury-prone history, you still got to look at each injury. Like, is it a nagging foot injury that continues to flare up, but you're trying to play through it? Is that one thing? The PCL, ACL injury, that's a major injury. So, yeah, you're going to miss a lot of time with that. But typically, you don't tear that same one twice, typically. Same thing with the collarbone. The collarbone is a strong bone, but, man, when it gets broken, that's going to set you out for a while. So, I can see the argument both ways to this. Is he injury prone? Yeah, he's had 2 major injuries. Those are also injuries that don't typically happen again. You know what I mean? So I can see both sides of this argument for him.
Well, it's been a nagging hamstring. That's been a problem. The tear.
Hamstring is always going to be
2024 he broke his clavicle. 2025 was hamstring issues. And 2022 was the ACL, PCL. Again, good player.
Yeah.
But are you concerned about injury history? Are you concerned about missing 40% of your games?
Hamstring I'd be definitely concerned about.
Because this is a guy that has missed games. So I can see the Chiefs being really concerned about that. If that was at 9 and you said, can this guy make a difference for our team? He's got to step up and be that one because we don't have a true one at this point. I mean, Rashee Rice is supposed to be that. But, again, I think you should always go into every season now not counting on Rashee Rice because he hasn't given you a reason to count on him. And Xavier Worthy is not a number 1. He's not. He's a good piece to the puzzle. He's not the end-all, be-all puzzle answer. So at 9, can you see him making a move for a veteran receiver? Can you see him making A.J. Brown? The Eagles probably going to deal him, but it's probably going to be a post-June 1 designation for the trade because it saves so much on their cap. He's a very expensive player at $43 million in dead cap if you trade him before June 1. So look for a later trade involving him. But are the Chiefs in the market to bring in a proven player at wide receiver because you look at all the pieces. Would Andy Reid shift philosophies? I know they bring in O'Shea to be wide receiver coach, so that it's different. Are you willing to teach an old dog new tricks? Is he willing to go with a rookie wide receiver if you drafted him at 9 and say, I know you're a rookie, but you got to be a number 1 for this football team because they have an elite quarterback and you don't want to waste that window with Patrick Mahomes. You know, you gave him a running back. You've dealt with the line issues and drafted a line a lot early the last 2 years. But he needs someone to catch the football. He needs someone to beat man coverage, and he needs someone not to drop it. He needs a reliable hands to catch it, and it is the cheapest wide receiver room in the NFL at $9.9 million. So, yes, the quarterback needs weapons. You're not going to have a quarterback like this in the future. I don't think Kansas City will ever see a quarterback with this kind of acumen that Mahomes has, and they always a threat to win the Super Bowl every year that he plays. 3-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time league MVP. So what do? Like, think about what Reed does. Are you going to trust a rookie? Okay, I'm all for getting a Mekhi Lemon, somebody like that at 9. Is he going to play, though? Are they going to trust him enough? Because remember, Jalen Royals, that was their one dart they threw last year. And I know he had knee tendonitis and things through training camp, but he never went on IR. And he never contributed for this team. But he got a little playing time there at the end, but she didn't notice Jalen Royals. And that was their one dart. Because it was a dart at Sky Moore, which you definitely recognized, and he didn't work out. Then they threw it one dart at Rashee Rice, and he did work out. His rookie year, he was second only to Puka in catches and yards. And then this year, or you threw that dart at Jalen Royals. In a year where you didn't bring in a Keenan Allen type. You didn't bring in that veteran receiver. You relied on what you had, and you knew Rashee Rice was going to be suspended. That was not a mystery that he was going to miss games this year. How many and when? That was the question. But you knew he was going to bag games. And then the Worthy injury, you don't count on those type of things where he missed 3 games when Kelsey ran into him on the third play there in Brazil. You don't count on those. But it's football, and you have to count on those things because it's been a different wide receiver group again from St. Joe to now. Now, can you see an Orlando Brown type move for Chiefs at wide receiver? I can if you bring in a proven pass catcher because Andy Reid prefers proven pass catchers and hasn't necessarily relied on rookies. Or does the old dog learn new tricks and he's okay with getting a wide receiver at 9?
I 100% can see a trade coming with everything you've just described, or at least have it in the realm of possibility here. And I have a guy that I think is in a situation right now in his city with his team that they're not really looking on the up and up, that I think that they could get. The Chiefs have the capital to give away to get him, but I want to know what you think first, because I think we're probably pretty like-minded on this.
Yeah, I think so. And I will say this. If you don't make a move, you 100% should draft 2 receivers relatively high in this draft.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's one or the other.
Whether it's 9 or you don't do it at 9, you do it at 29 and 40. But out of picks 9, 29, and 40, 2 of those should be wide receivers if you don't make a move.
If you don't make a move,
If you make a proven move, I still think they should draft one either at 29 or 40, but then maybe you can sandbag it till about the 4th round.
And depending on what proven move you make, you might end up losing one of those picks anyway.
Yes, you could 100% lose, and you probably would. And they do have 2027 picks to play with as well. And they did garner an extra 2027, which those things are like gold. It's like the prospecting of baseball cards when you open up a pack. But pick 109 in the 4th round, somewhere like that, wide receiver, because they definitely have to address it. I'm just shocked people think they're fine at wide receiver. They think they're fine at wide receiver, but week 5 and 6, they're going to be complaining about wide receiver. They're going to be complaining about drop passes on 3rd and 8. They're going to be complaining about drop passes on 4th and 5. They're going to be complaining about that, and they're going to be complaining about receivers not being able to beat man coverage. That was a theme last year. That was a theme on this text line last year, was the drop passes, inability to run routes, and that was the worry. And now you see a Tyreek Hill's floating out there. Well, Tyreek Hill needs another surgery still. Tyreek Hill has also been a league leader in drop passes. He's been 2nd, he's been 3rd, and he's been 2nd in the NFL in drop passes. Now, it gets ignored. You don't care about it because he was going 70 or 80 yards for a touchdown.
Exactly.
Running that vertical route or 9 round. But do you still have the speed to do that? Do you still have the speed to erase a drop pass? And now are you going to have to change and refine what you are as a receiver and run more of the intermediate stuff? And can you be relied upon as a pass catcher when you can't erase those type of moves with a large down the field move because your speed came back after the surgeries and you're over 30?
True, you are over 30. And I will say, I think a lot of it also had to do, especially in Tyreek Hill's individual case, with the attitude. I think he wanted out of Miami. So I think a lot of that might have been lackluster play.
And I'm fine
he's
with him
tired
as
of him
a
being
piece,
there.
not the end all be all, a piece. Fine.
Yeah, piece. He's not your fix.
And I'm glad Tyquan Thornton's coming back too because I really like him.
I like Tyquan Thornton
blazing
a lot.
4.28 speed at the combine. I like Tyquan Thornton and what he can do. So I'm glad they brought him back.
Him and Pat's downfield chemistry was great last year.
But the thing is, and you see these receivers, these free agent receivers, the money they're commanding. I mean, Alec Pierce got $29 million a year, and he was offered more to go other places. This dude has never, and I mean ever, caught 50 passes in a season in the National Football League, and he commanded $29 million. So that's the reason free agent wide receivers aren't in Kansas City, because you're paying stupid money for them when, and it was great what Ian Rappaport said at the combine, you want a receiver, this is where to get them. Because you get 4 years of control. First rounder, you get 5 years of control. You're not paying that Alec Pierce ridiculous money. Juwan Jennings is going to get over $20 million a year. And 7th round pick. I mean, you do the damage in the draft.
All I'm saying is, I think a guy that's in a great situation to be traded for, and I think that fans around the league are all clamoring to trade for this guy, is Jay Jettas. Justin Jefferson, man. I think he is the guy.
And who knows what Minnesota's doing?
Position.
I mean, Kyler Murray's going to be up there now to battle with.
I don't think that's a fix for Minnesota.
I think he's actually going to be the starter.
I just don't think that's a fix. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy wasn't the answer. Kyler, I believe in Kyler's talent, but I got to see more. I got to see production. And, I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to trade him away, to sign him and then trade away your number one receiver. But if they're looking to build the future, I think that could be the move that they make.
1-0 Team USA now. It is still in the it's the bottom of the first now. 1-0 Team USA over Canada. There is another idea from the NFL that's always churning and changing. Blake, I don't know if you saw this one, but it's a new idea the NFL has, and you'll probably see it this year. And I actually think it's awesome. We talk about it next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
We've all been there. You wake up and your knees give you that not today feeling, and it's frustrating and exhausting. Honestly, it's unfair. Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel way older than you actually are. QC Kinetics patients are getting relief, feeling younger, and jumping back into life at full speed without surgery. The medical professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science. They take the tiny, powerful healing tools already inside your body and concentrate them right where you need relief. The sooner you start, the sooner inflammation eases and joint damage slows down, because no one signs up for feeling older faster. Find out if you're a candidate. Your consultation's free. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. Cause 30 told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Always better with the roof from JR.
Here they come. A baseball-sized hailstorm means every roofer for 500 miles is on his way here to ring your doorbell. Before that happens, go online to jrstormcheck.com and relax. JR & Company is locally owned, veteran-owned, and family-owned. JR & Company offers a lifetime warranty on workmanship. But best of all, JR & Company offers a free Class 4 shingle upgrade. What does that mean? Most insurance companies offer premium discounts on Class 4 shingles. Remember, no roofer can legally offer to pay your deductible, but a free shingle upgrade can reduce premiums for years to come. Why do we do this? Because we can. A lifetime workmanship warranty and free shingle upgrade. It's why we say,
You're always better with the roof from JR.
just visit jrstormcheck.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brenton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We're excited to launch Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks. This is about Kansas City, not about soccer. Telling the story of how our town ended up hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, plus video clips on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
Subscribe to Beyond the Pitch KC on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Sneeders. Our phone number 913-586-7965. 1-0. We're going to the second. Team USA leading Canada 1-0. Bobby Wood Jr. leading off tonight. Walked. Moved around when Judge hit a double. Schwarber knocks, gets the RBI. What'd Schwarber do? How did Bobby score here? Kyle Schwarber grounded out. Bobby Witt Jr. scored. Aaron Judge went to third on that. That's the scoring in the first as we're moving on to the second. But Bobby Witt Jr., the only run in the game so far. Put that on your scorecard, man. Bobby gets in there for Team USA. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, Blake, I have something for you, my friend.
Lay it on me, Bink.
You're going to like this. So the NFL is looking to add, again, another primetime game. And this one would be to make your Thanksgiving week even more Thanksgiving-ish. It would be a Thanksgiving Eve game. We know how much fun that Thanksgiving games are. We know that Kansas City and Dallas set ratings record last year with over 55 million for regular season game, highest regular season game ever. Matter of fact, Chiefs were 4 of the top 5 highest rated games last year, even though they had 6 wins. People like the Chiefs. Don't let them tell you they don't, because they do. Whether you want to see them win or whether you want to see them lose, people love seeing the Kansas City Chiefs, and these networks know it as well. Be prepared for a lot of primetime games this season. So there's going to be 5 extra games that they can sell, and this would be an extra one added that. The Black Friday game that they've had for the last couple of years, right? The Chiefs have played on this, the Black Friday game, but they're thinking about they added the Black Friday game 3 years ago, and there could be a second Black Friday game. So on Thanksgiving, you already get the 3. You get Detroit early, then you get Dallas in the afternoon, then you get the night game, the rotating night game, which is usually a really good game. So the think about that Thanksgiving Eve game on Wednesday. So you'd have Wednesday, you'd have 3 on Thanksgiving, then you'd have 2 on Black Friday, and then by the time Sunday rolls around, you're not going to get on Sunday ticket because everybody's already going to be played. And I say, who cares? But you're going to get Monday Night Football. You're not going to have something Tuesday, but you're going to have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That, my friend, I can get behind. A Wednesday night NFL game, and I know these players hate short weeks like that. You have to manufacture your buys before it. But can you imagine? I know it's a big bar night. A lot of people in their 20s or whatever like going out to the bar and whatever the night before Thanksgiving and just watch the game. Have the bar turn the game
I was
on.
gonna say, give you something to watch at the bar.
You know,
it's also a
but
night.
There's a lot of people not in their 20s as well.
Of course. No, I mean, I'm always a fan, just like you, and you know this. The more football, the better. If I could have a football game every single day of the week, that'd be great. But like you said, it does kind of take away from your regular Sunday routine where you're like, I'm going to watch football all day. But that's
all right. You're still going to have games
week
on.
Is already an anomaly because it's going to be peppered throughout anyway. So you might as well extend it to an extra day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the Chiefs were the first game on a Thursday night that wasn't in Dallas or Detroit.
Yeah.
It was against the Broncos. That was the first ever Thursday night
history made
game was the Chiefs and the Broncos. When they did that, it's the rotating game that's not deadlocked into Detroit and Dallas. And at least Detroit doesn't suck as much as they used to, but we used to watch them, man. It was always fun watching Barry, or Megatron on Thanksgiving. That was always fun. Now, they didn't make the playoffs last year. It's a more fun team to watch. Now you can watch Pacheco if you're a Pacheco fan.
Right.
You can watch him for Detroit. But having that Wednesday night game, I'm sorry, man. That makes a lot of sense. That is building your Thanksgiving week up, man. That is a week full of NFL. You get Monday night, Wednesday night. Now, they haven't said 100% they're going to do this, but they're probably going to do this.
Oh, I'd be all in for it. Like I said,
and then 2 Black Friday games.
That week is already, it's already not a normal football weekend, so you might as well make it a week-long event. It just makes Thanksgiving, looking forward to Thanksgiving and that 4-day break, even that much better.
Yeah. So you might get. There's only been 4 Wednesday games in NFL history, but you're probably going to have 2 this year because remember they're doing that game in Australia as well. So it's probably going to be. You're probably going to have Wednesday and Thursday to open up the season. But on Thanksgiving Eve, you get a football game, and that is called fun, my friend. I don't know who would complain about that because that is awesome having a pre-Thanksgiving game. And you know what? If your team's playing in your city and you cover the team or you're going to the game or whatever, you got Thanksgiving Day now to do whatever the hell you want. You don't have to go to the game now.
Exactly.
You were playing the night before. I think this is a win-win for the NFL. They do some things that don't make a lot of sense, like the Pro Bowl that needs to go the way of the dodo bird. But all these other games are we can't consume enough games. Obviously, the networks can't either because the ratings are through the roof. I mean, people watch crap for NFL games. They don't care.
No, they don't care. I'm one of them.
I am too.
I will watch bad football over
and the
DraftKings
Kings and the FanDuels of the world, they absolutely love this going on. But anyway, the pre-Thanksgiving thing, I think it's a home run. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. 1-0 still. We're going to the bottom of the second. Team USA.
I will
first
say,
Team Canada.
Bryce Terang did just take an absolute cheese down the middle for strike 3 to end the inning. So
Oh,
that
did
was
he?
A little disappointing, but
Terang did that. He's friends with Bobby.
yeah, they roomed together back. When he was at the 17U?
Back in the day.
All-Star game, I think.
Well, I took a look at the top 25 mocks again. Things have definitely changed. I mentioned that they changed from Jeremiah Love. There's a new position that is the hottest position for the Kansas City Chiefs, according to those. Well, keep in mind, we're after the combine and we're after free agency. They start to matter at this point. We discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by A.B. May. Trust A.B. May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. in KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the Pillars of Strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the Pillars of Strength.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Sneeders. Still 1-0 USA over Canada in the second. There's one out. Canada has a base runner on now, as Naylor's on first. All right, Blake, if I was going to say one position out of the freshest top 25 mocks, not the top 25, just the freshest of mocks that came out tonight, keep in mind these were dominated. Actually, Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end at Oregon, led the way during the season when mocks came out during the season. Then that transitioned to a lot of Reuben Bain, and then, of course, Jeremiah Love. Can you name the position out of 25. So if I had to say what position out of 25 mock drafts had the most picked for the Kansas City Chiefs, is there a certain position you would say, I think they're going this direction now?
I'm going to assume it's something that I wouldn't normally assume. So I'm thinking
Good idea.
They're probably going to go offensive lineman.
Yep. 9 of the 25
Really?
were offensive linemen. Spencer Fano had 4. Francis Muiagoa had 5. So 9 total for offensive line. Cornerbacks had 7. So cornerback was 7, obviously. You lose
That
Jalen
makes more
Watson, lose
sense.
Trent McDuffie. Mansour Delane was 6 of those 7. So 6 of the 25 was Mansour Delane being picked. Actually, there's some Sonny Styles, a linebacker, too. He had the off-ball linebacker, had a great combine, had 3 picks. Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon that put up big-time numbers. He's going to be a great tight end in the NFL. I think he's going to be a really good one. He had 3, just 1 wide receiver, 1. It was Cardinal Tate. 1 out of the 25 was wide receiver. And 2 for Caleb Downs. 2 for Caleb Downs at safety. But the leader in the clubhouse was Mansour Delane with 6. Oh, what happened? You were sure
Bobby Witt just made a nice little snag at shortstop to end the inning.
Again.
Going into the third, baby.
So Bobby Witt Jr. does it again.
Yes,
now, he's got the
sir.
1 run so far for Team USA. Was it on the ground or did he make a catch through the air?
It was in the air. It was a nice little line shot right at him.
Well, the team looked really happy that Bobby did it. Congratulations to Bobby.
Oh, he had to get some air on it. That's for sure.
I can't wait till Bobby's a household name, man, because right now, as good as he is, finishing 2nd, 4th the last 2 years in MVP, leading the league in hits the last 2 years, he could probably walk around wherever he wants and people wouldn't know it's Bobby Witt Jr. And the MLB's trying, man, the PR machine and all that. We know how good he is. Again, Royals baseball, when you see all this stuff, it gets exciting when you see your players doing some great things like Bobby Witt Jr.
I follow a lot of different accounts that cover baseball, and they're all a bunch of guys from all over the country. So, a lot of them are like New York Yankees and Dodgers and Mets fans. And I can't believe after the showing that he put on the other day with his 2 immaculate plays at shortstop, and then to follow it up with 2 doubles and a stolen base and a walk, that the explosion of people online that hadn't really seen Bobby play or didn't, I guess, recognize or realize how good this guy was blew my mind. I just assumed everybody knew the guy who'd finished in the top 3 of MVP.
In the American League, it's Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr.
Exactly. And I couldn't believe how many people were amazed. I mean, the plays that we saw him make the other day in the World Baseball Classic at shortstop, he makes that play at least once or twice a week for us here in Kansas City.
We get spoiled watching it. The one thing I saw quite a bit, I always try to look at, all right, where are you from? And you're right. A lot of New York and Boston, the people talking about Bobby and Vinny, the videos that MLB Network put out or MLB.com put out. And they're like, man, these are a very likable couple of guys that we've been sleeping on. The Royals have a lot of likable guys on their team.
A lot of guys that should be more faces of the league to me. I mean, I think they're actively trying to make Vinny a face of the league because what he's been doing, how much he's progressed. I mean, coming off of a year where he was 6th or 7th?
6th.
He was 6th in RBIs.
Only
behind
16
Judge.
guys had 100. Royals had 2 of them. Vinny was 1 behind Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge had 114 RBI. Vinny had 113. And Vinny had more than Ohtani.
I think he was the leading first baseman, if I'm not mistaken.
But outside that first month, dude had a really damn good year.
Yeah, so I think MLB right now is realizing, listen, these guys in Kansas City, these Royals players
They're
are
fun. They have a personality. I mean,
not only great players, but they're marketable, man. Who
Well,
doesn't like watching Vinny? Bobby's too nice almost.
Yeah, that whole connection that Perez always had with Low Kane and stuff like that. Even though Perez still on the team,
of course,
that whole connection between those two, it's Bobby and Vinny now.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Cag's thrown in there too. Because Vinny's kind of taking Cags under his wings.
When Vinny is on the Rich Eisen show for a 20-minute segment and then turns right around in less than 24 hours and he's on the Pat McAfee show, who, if you don't watch the Pat McAfee show, they don't really cover a lot of other sports unless it's just a one segment
They
thing.
liked Vinny.
They loved Vinny. Old Paisan over there. They loved them some Vinny Pasquantino. He was on their show for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, and he's done some Fox Sports stuff too. Where he
yeah.
sat in studio there with Nick Wright and stuff. He's been doing some.
I love that they're pushing him, man. He's just so fun to not only watch play baseball, but also just to watch. Not that you're around him, but just to watch him interact and how he gets to kind of show that flair of his, because he's such a likable guy.
Well, if you didn't listen last night, Vernon's been doing his hot stove show on Thursday nights for the last couple months, and it's going to turn into Vern doing pre and post, of course, for the Kansas City Royals. Well, last night was his Major League preview, but Vern always puts out what he's calling the season, a theme for the season. Like the sophomore year and all the different themes that he's had with the team, and it's always so good. It's kind of taken on a life of its own when Vern puts that slogan out for the year. It's good stuff. Well, in case you missed it, Vern put out the slogan for what he's referencing this season to be. Play you that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by AB May. Trust AB May to keep your home warm. For 0% interest for 72 months on select heating and cooling systems, call 913-732-9993 today. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Ready to watch your favorite baseball stars play in the WBC? Get in on the action with BetMGM. Sign into your BetMGM account and enjoy a WBC odds boost token to snag even more winnings on your next bet. It's easy. Just log into the BetMGM Sportsbook app, add any WBC bet to your bet slip, and activate your odds boost token. If you win your bet with your token activated, you'll score extra winnings. 3 quick steps and you could be on your way to extra winnings if your next WBC bet hits. The world's greatest ball players are about to duke it out on a global stage. Don't miss out on the fun. Add some extra excitement to this year's tournament by signing into your BetMGM account and grabbing your WBC odds boost token today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's Scott Parks, and we've launched Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's largest sporting event, presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Subscribe on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. A tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
What matters to you matters to us. That's why Busey Bank takes the time to understand your goals and build solutions that fit your story. From everyday banking to long-term planning, our team is here to help you navigate every stage with care and expertise. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor, your advisor, and your advocate. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
JR and Company, the only roofing company offering a free lifetime warranty on workmanship and a free shingle upgrade that can save thousands in future insurance premiums. Locally owned, veteran owned, and family owned. Call JR today or visit jrstormcheck.com.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust a Nemu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid to know. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Blake Sneeders. We got Las Vegas. We got NASCAR this weekend. We get the Players' Championship going on in golf. Scheffler, by the way, makes the cut. Cut line was +2. He gets the +1. He makes the cut. What, Aaron Judge just walked now, so we have 2 on.
2 on, but right as we went to break, they had a cheeky little play by Canada. It was just outside the infield, and they allowed the ball to drop on a pop-up so that they could throw Bobby out at second. Cheeky play for sure, but definitely smart on Canada's part.
Wonder what they're saying about it.
Because they just showed the replay just now, too.
Yeah, showing the replay. So Bobby's out. He hit into a force out. He was on it first.
Let's have Schwarber go yard here.
Yeah, they need it 1-0 now. This would be perfect 3-run bomb here by Schwarber. But anyway, Vern was on last night, and his 2026 theme for the Kansas City Royals this year that you'll hear throughout the season as far as what his theme meant, but he explains why he picked said theme now.
Last year, the sophomore album, it was good, but not quite 2024. Yeah, last year was the sophomore album, and now that leads me to where we're at today, 2026. Because maybe last year was the down year. You know, Bobby refers to last year. Bobby Witt Jr. refers to his 2025 as a down year. Following 82 wins, Bobby refers to it as a down year. 82 wins. A win total reached only 4 times in the previous 3 decades of Royals baseball. That's what they did last year. Doesn't feel like it, though, does it? But, man, if the sophomore album of 2025, if the sophomore album turns out to be the worst one these dudes put out, that's not too shabby. And so, my theme for the 2026 season is the standard. 2026 is about setting the standard for the rest of the decade. A standard of winning, of playoff expectations that hang over everything. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Witt Jr.'s prime is here. It's starting right now. The best position player in the world is turning 26 in a few months. Robin Yount, the Hall of Famer often compared to Bobby Witt Jr. Robin Yount won his first MVP award at the age of 26.
So there you go, the standard. You know what, though? They had a winning record last year. Only 3 in the last 3 decades. By the way, Team USA with the bases loaded in Bregman's up in his old stadium in Houston. Where he said, I think 96 home runs in that stadium because when he was a member of the Astros for so long.
Something like that. Yeah, he was with the Astros for quite a while.
Yeah, his whole career except the last 2 years.
He has been
He's a
struggling.
Cub now.
He's been struggling a little bit in this WBC, but I have a feeling he's about to pop off.
Oh, this would be a perfect time for a grand salami from Bregman.
We have Aaron Judge on third, Harper on second, and Schwarber hit a little nubber off the end of his bat and was able to scoot on to first base with it without an errant throw from the third baseman on Canada. So bases loaded for Bregman. What can he do?
This WBC has been fun. Man, I remember that 2017. I was telling you about it earlier when Hosmer was on it, and he hit that big home run against Venezuela. But, man, Hosmer, his career, when he wins a World Series in 15, wins a WBC in 17, man, it was off to a flying start. Now he's going to be working for MLB Network, and he's going to be doing some Royals games as well.
Hosmer does great stuff. I watch his podcast. with him and Moose. It's fantastic.
I think it is. I think he did a great job when MLB Network had him in studio during the postseason. I think that's really a natural fit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great having a Kansas City guy, played here, a Kansas City guy in the national spotlight talking about the Royals. Canada just threw above the first baseman's head. The Team USA scores 2 runs there on the overthrow to first base. It's now 3-0. Team USA in the third. That's what I'm talking about, Blake. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. All this stuff. I'm go. Royals are on next, but I've got to find a place to have a few beers.
Let's go finish this game.
Watch some more Team USA.
Yes, sir.
Beat Canada once again. It's fun.
Bink, it's been a pleasure, as always.
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. Talking draft, talking WBC, Big 12 tournament, you name it. So many things are going on right now. Hope everybody has a good night. Enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend. Gonna be nice tomorrow, and I think turning crappy Sunday. So anyway, stay safe out there. Have fun, Kansas City.